Hello everyone, welcome to Rajeshwari's Commerce and Management Study Hub. I am Rajeshwari here. You are able to see a screen on the desktop, right? So this is GST Council, Goods and Service Tax Council, where you will get all the details of the tax rate, exemptions, threshold limits, right? So this is the council. They are making a decision related to each and everything and collection and levy of the GST. So goods and service tax. And we have one more website related to this GST that you have to know. This is Common Portal of GST, gst.government.in, where you are filing the returns and you will get updates for the filing, due date details, claims, everything you are doing under this website. Okay, the registration, filing, verification, uploading of your accounts, verification of your accounts, everything will be done under this portal. So these are the two websites which you have to know, and try to visit the website personally and you try to learn more practically. Okay, so that is most important while you are studying these type of life subjects. Okay, so now let us understand more about this GST. Okay, overview of GST. The taxes are divided into two parts, direct tax and indirect tax. So direct tax covers income tax, wealth tax, right? It is progressive in nature, and indirect tax covers GST and customs duty. It is regressive in nature. Regressive means whatever your income, irrespective of your income, the tax rate remains the same. It is not going to change. Now we have understood the full form of GST. It means goods and service tax. So the tax is levied on goods or services or both. But the taxable event is your supply. Okay. Except the alcohol liquor for human consumptions. And see here we have features of this GST. GST is levied on goods and services or both. And taxable event is supply. It is applicable in India from 1st July 2017, and GST is levied by both the central government as well as state government. It is broadly based on the value added tax, and it is also called as destination based tax. Okay, and here GST is levied on whenever you are using goods or services or both for the consumption purpose. If you are using for personal or hobby activities, then GST will not be levied on the personal and hobby activities. Now, how we are going to levy the GST in India? In India, we have 28 states and 8 union territories. The 8 union territories are divided into two parts, that is 3 union territories and 5 union territories. These 3 union territories are called as or covered under the state only because they have their own state legislature, that is Delhi, Puducherry, Jammu and Kashmir. So totally we have 31 states, and for these states CGST and SGST will be collected. And for remaining 5 union territories, that is Ladakh, Andaman and Nicobar, Lakshadweep, Dadar and Nagar Haveli and Daman Diu, Chandigarh, that on these CGST and UTGST will be collected. Okay, now the taxable event under GST is supply. So the event will be divided into two parts. The supply is divided into two parts, that is intrastate supply, interstate supply. Okay, here under intrastate supply, location of supply and place of supply, LOS and POS. LOS means location of supply and POS means place of supply, are in the same state or same UT. So within the state or within the UT, Union Territories. When it is within the state, CGST and SGST will be collected. If it is within the UTs, then CGST and UTGST will be collected. Okay, under interstate or inter UTs, location of supply and place of supply are in the two different states or different UTs. Okay, when it is between two states or between two UTs or between state and the UT, IGST will be levied. So this IGST is collected by the central government. Now for CGST, SGST and all, the tax rates are collected or distributed by the GST Council only. But here IGST will be collected by the central government. In some of the cases, the supply will consider deemed to be considered as a interstate only. When any supply of goods, services or from or to the SEZ developers or SEZ unit. SEZ means special economic zones. Then it will be considered as a interstate supply. Then supply of goods made to a tourist, but the tourist should not stay more than 6 months. Any import of goods, we will levy high GST only on these three cases. Okay. Now we'll understand history of GST. ಹೇಗೆ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಯ್ತು ಇಂಡಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ GST ಅಂತ. 2004 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ದ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಐಡಿಯಾ ಇಂಟ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗಿರೋದು ಕೇಲ್ಕರ್ ಟಾಸ್ಕ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಅವರಿಂದ. And this force was headed by the Sri Vijay Kelkar. 2014 ಅಲ್ಲಿ 19th December the Constitution 122nd Amendment Bill 2014 introduced in Lok Sabha. ಸೊ 2014ರಲ್ಲಿ ಲೋಕಸಭಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಬಿಲ್ ನ ಇಂಟ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಕ್ ಮುಂಚೆ ಬಿಲ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಪಾಸ್ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಅಪ್ರೂವ್ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಲೋಕಸಭಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀರಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಇಂಟ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ ಲೋಕಸಭಾ ಬೈ ಹಾನರಬಲ್ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಆಫ್ ಫಿನಾನ್ಸ್ ಶ್ರೀ ಅರುಣ್ ಜೇಟ್ಲಿ ಅವರು ಇಂಟ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ 2014 ಅಲ್ಲಿ. 2015 ಅಲ್ಲಿ 6th May ದ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ 122nd ಅಮೆಂಡ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ನಾವೇನು ಇಂಟ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ ಲೋಕಸಭಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಬಿಲ್ ನ 2014 ಪಾಸ್ಡ್ ಬೈ ಲೋಕಸಭಾಲಿ ಪಾಸ್ ಆಗತ್ತೆ. 22nd July 21 members selected committee submit its report to the ರಾಜ್ಯಸಭಾ. ಲೋಕಸಭಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಪ್ರೂವ್ ಆಯ್ತು, ರಾಜ್ಯಸಭಾ ಅವ್ರನ್ನು ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅವ್ರ ಹತ್ರನೂ ಅಪ್ರೂವ್ ತಗೋಬೇಕಲ್ವಾ. ಸೊ ರಾಜ್ಯಸಭಾಗೆ ರಿಪೋರ್ಟ್ ನ ಸಬ್ಮಿಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. 2016 ಅಲ್ಲಿ 3rd August the Constitution 122nd Amendment Bill 2014 was passed by Rajya Sabha with certain amendments. So ಅವರು ಕೂಡ certain conditions, with the conditions they will pass in Rajya Sabha. ಸೊ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡಿ 8th August ರಾಜ್ಯಸಭಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಚೇಂಜಸ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ಯುನಾನಮಸ್ಲಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ್ದು ಇಂಡಿವಿಜುವಲಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ವಿತೌಟ್ ಎನಿ ಅಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಲೋಕಸಭಾ ಪಾಸ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಅವ್ರು ಏನೇನ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಹಾಕ್ತಾರೋ ಎಲ್ಲದಕ್ಕೂ ಒಪ್ಕೊಂಡು ಲೋಕಸಭಾಲಿ ಪಾಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಆನ್ 8th September ದ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ 101 ಅಮೆಂಡ್ಮೆಂಟ್ 101ನೇ ವಿಧಿ ಅಮೆಂಡ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಆಕ್ಟ್ 2016 ರಿಸೀವ್ಡ್ ದಿ ಪ್ರೆಸಿಡೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಅಸೆಂಟ್. ಪ್ರೆಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಸಿಗ್ನೇಚರ್, ಅಸೆಂಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಸಿಗ್ನೇಚರ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. So in 2017, on 12th April, Parliament passed the following 4 bills and presidential assent was given on 12th April 2017. ಸೇಮ್ ದಿನ ಪಾಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಅವತ್ತೇ ಕೂಡ ಎಲ್ಲದಕ್ಕೂ 4 ಆಕ್ಟ್ಗಳಿಗೆ ಸಿಗ್ನೇಚರ್ಸ್ ನ ಕೂಡ ತಗೋತಾರೆ. So what are the 4 Act? CGST Act 2017, UTGST Act 2017, IGST Act 2017 and GST Compensation to States Act 2017. It is GST cess. ಈ 4 ಆಕ್ಟ್ಗಳನ್ನು ಅಪ್ರೂವ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಪಾಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಆಗ ಆನ್ 1st July GST law made applicable in India. So India 1st July all over India except Jammu and Kashmir applicable ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. From 8th July 2017 in Jammu and Kashmir also GST was applicable. All the times we used to see Jammu except Jammu and Kashmir except, so that except was removed. Now it is applicable to the Jammu and Kashmir also. Now what are the advantage of this GST? So one nation, one tax. That is the main objective. You have seen the GST Council portal. There you have seen, right? One nation, one market, right? One tax. So one nation, one tax. And removal of many other taxes. So VAT, CST, service tax, excess duty. So these are all subsumed under the GST. Removal of cascading effect. Cascading effect and the tax on tax. ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ಡ್ ಎಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಡೂಯಿಂಗ್ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್. ಯಾವಾಗ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬೆನಿಫಿಟ್ಸ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದೆ, ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಪೇ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಿ ಅಥವಾ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಬರ್ಡನ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೋ ಅವಾಗ we feel that we want to start business also, right? If the earning is less, tax payment is more means surely we won't do. But here this helped the many new introducers for the startups to reduce their taxes also. That's why increased as of doing business and boost exports, and it boosts make in India campaign also. Okay, so these are the main advantages of GST. Now, what made the India to introduce this GST? So there was some of the deficiency of earlier indirect tax system. ಡಿಫಿಷಿಯನ್ಸಿ ಈಗ ನಾವ್ ಯಾವಾಗ ಹೊಸ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೀರಿ, ಯಾವಾಗ ಹಳೆ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಲೋಪದೋಷಗಳು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ತೊಂದರೆಗಳು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ, ಅದರಿಂದ ಏನು ಬೆನಿಫಿಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಬರ್ಡನ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೋ ಅವಾಗ ನಾವು ನ್ಯೂ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಅಡಾಪ್ಟ್ ಆಗಕ್ ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ. ಸೊ ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ಸಮ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಡಿಫಿಷಿಯನ್ಸೀಸ್, ವಾಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ದಟ್? ಲಾ ಆಫ್ ಯೂನಿಫಾರ್ಮಿಟಿ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ ರೇಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, ಅಥವಾ ರೇಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಫೈಲಿಂಗ್ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್, ಆಲ್ ವರ್ ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್. So when there is no uniformity in tax payment, so it will affect on the, already it is a regressive means what? Your income is high also, you are paying the same tax only. If you are a low income also paying the same tax. So that's why the uniformity was not there. Then there was tax on tax, cascading effects was there, and no senvat credit for the service providers and the dealers. Double taxation was there. To avoid all these things, the GST was introduced. Okay, now some of the commodities are outside the GST, not covered under GST. So that also you should know while calculating GST. These are all important points. Yaudadu. So first in the meaning itself we have seen alcoholic liquor for human consumption is not covered under GST. ಇದರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ specifically excluded from the ambit of GST ಇಂದ exclude ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. GST is not levied on, ನಾ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಗಿವನ್ ಒಂದು ಸಿನೋನಮಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಈಸಿಯಾಗಿ ನೆನಪಿರ್ಲಿ ಅಂತ, NH ಮ್ಯಾಪ್. So we'll see this full forms of NH map. Until notified by central government on GST council recommendation. Once they notify, then we will go to, we'll start levying taxes on these items also. But as of now, we are not collecting any taxes on these items. So that is natural gas, high speed diesel, motor spirit, that is petrol, aviation turbine fuel, petroleum, crude. NH ಮ್ಯಾಪ್, ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಹೈವೇ ಮ್ಯಾಪ್ ಅಂತ ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೋಬಹುದು ನೀವು. ಸೊ ನ್ಯಾಚುರಲ್ ಗ್ಯಾಸ್, ಹೈ ಸ್ಪೀಡ್ ಡೀಸೆಲ್, ಮೋಟಾರ್ ಸ್ಪಿರಿಟ್, ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಪೆಟ್ರೋಲ್, ಏವಿಯೇಷನ್ ಟರ್ಬಿನ್ ಫ್ಯೂಲ್, ಪೆಟ್ರೋಲಿಯಂ, crude. So these are all, we are not going to levy GST on these items out of GST. Now what is the definition of goods under GST? Because GST is levied on goods and services both. So we need to know what is the meaning of goods. Goods ಅಂದ್ರೇನು? Means every kind of movable property other than money and securities. So money ಮತ್ತೆ securities ನ include ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲಿ. You may get questions also in what are the what are not covered under goods as per GST. Then money and securities not covered under the goods. But it includes actionable claims, rights. That is, but not all actionable claims are goods, but all are not supplied. Like only lottery, betting, gambling, as per the schedule 3. So we have 3 schedules, so that you are going to study in detail. Okay. Growing crops, grains and things attached to farming parts agreed to be served before supply, also considered as a goods and covered under GST. And services. Services means anything other than goods, money, security, but includes activities relating to the use of money. Understood? These are all about the meaning of goods and services. Now we have a common portal for GST. Common portal, I have shown you the website, right? So that is electronic portal, www.gst.government.in. So this website is managed by Goods and Service Tax Network, GSTN. So what are the functions of this GST network? Facilitating registration ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳಕ್ಕೆ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಫೈಲಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ ರಿಟರ್ನ್ಸ್, creation of challan, providing MIS reports to the central government and state government, accounting of fund transfer between the central and state government, because we will pay sometimes the GST and SGST. So fund transfer ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಮ್ಯಾಚಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ ಡೀಟೇಲ್ಸ್ ವಿತ್ ಆಥರೈಸ್ಡ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ರನ್ನಿಂಗ್ ದ ಮ್ಯಾಚಿಂಗ್ ಇಂಜಿನ್ ಫಾರ್ ಮ್ಯಾಚಿಂಗ್ ದ ರಿವರ್ಸಲ್ ಅಂಡ್ ರೀಕ್ಲೈಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟ್. ಸೊ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕೆಲಸ ನಿಮ್ ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ರಿಲೇಟೆಡ್, ಕ್ಲೈಮ್ಸ್ ರಿಲೇಟೆಡ್, ರಿಟರ್ನ್ಸ್ ರಿಲೇಟೆಡ್, all the work is done by this portal. Okay, you have seen that portal, you can go get in and try to understand practically from the website. Now we'll understand the taxes subsumed and not subsumed in the GST. So taxes subsumed in GST. Some of the central and state taxes are subsumed under GST. First we will see the list of central taxes. ಯಾವ್ದು ಜಿ ಎಸ್ ಟಿ ಅಂಡರ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಸೇರ್ಕೊಂಡಿದೆ. ಈ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಇದ್ರ ಬದಲು ನಾವು ಜಿ ಎಸ್ ಟಿ ನ ಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೆಂಟ್ರಲ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸೆಂಟ್ರಲ್ ಎಕ್ಸೈಸ್ ಡ್ಯೂಟಿ, ಅಡಿಷನಲ್ ಡ್ಯೂಟಿ ಆಫ್ ಎಕ್ಸೈಸ್ ಡ್ಯೂಟಿ ಲೆವಿಡ್ ಅಂಡರ್ Medical and Toiletry Preparation Act, additional duties of customs, CVD, SAD, service tax, central sales tax, surcharge and cesses. These are all not there now. Okay. Under state VAT, purchase tax, entertainment tax, other than levied by local bodies, taxes on lottery, betting, gambling, luxury tax, taxes on advertisement, state surcharge, and cess, entry tax. All form of entry taxes are covered under GST. These are the taxes which are subsumed, covered under the GST. Okay. Now the taxes which are not subsumed, still it is there. Okay, that is property tax and stamp duty, electricity duty, state excise on alcohol, basic custom duty, excise duty on 5 petroleum products, that is NH map. So these are not covered, right? But here you need to observe the note is tobacco and related products would be subjected to both GST as well as excise duty. So on tobacco items we'll collect GST also and excise duty also. Now the GST Council, the most important part of GST. All the decision made by related to GST is under GST Council only. As per the Article 279A of the Constitution of India, the President of India empowered this GST Council. Now, GST Council consists of chairperson. The Union Finance Minister will be a chairperson and Union Minister of State in charge will be as a member. The Finance Minister, State Finance Minister will be as a member, and State Finance Minister or a State Revenue Minister or any other ministers who are nominated from each state will be a member of the council, and among them one will be selected as a vice chairperson. So this is about the GST Council. Okay, under GST Council you have seen the photo, right? Whose photo it was? So please go to the website and check it out. Then guiding principles of GST Council. So here mainly the GST Council maintains ಹಾರ್ಮೋನೈಸೇಷನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸಾಮರಸ್ಯ ಕಾಪಾಡೋದು, ಸಮನ್ವಯತೆ ಕಾಪಾಡೋದು, ಯಾರಿಗೂ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಒಪಿನಿಯನ್ ಬರಬಾರ್ದು. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ GST is levied on both the central government as well as the state government. So it maintains the harmonization between the state and central. Okay. The main functions of this GST Council is GST Council make recommendations to central government and the state governments. And GST legislature including rules, notifications, exemptions, threshold limits, dispute resolutions, tax rate. So these are the main functions of the GST Council. Whatever the under income tax the central government will do, no, all those activities will be done by under GST, it is GST Council. The futures, now IGST is we are collecting and it is interstate, right? So what is the features of this IGST ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು collect ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ? The central government would administer and levy the taxes on IGST. This is integrated GST. ಯಾರು ಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ? ಸೆಂಟ್ರಲ್ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಬಟ್ CGST SGST ನ GST ಕೌನ್ಸಿಲ್ ಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. IGST ನ central government correct ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, administered also by the central government only. And supply in the origin of state is charged by the IGST on interstate supply, goods, services, or both. And IGST will be levied on the import of goods and services also. And any interstate buyer or recipient will avail the input tax credit. And any stock transfer to other states will also attracts the IGST. Transfer of goods to other state also we are charging IGST. Now under GST, the two more portals you need to know is that is GSP and ASP. GSP means the GSP stands for GST Suvidha Provider. Suvidha Provider, where you will get the taxpayer will get provisions of GST law through the web platform, and the GST will take help of the application services provider ASP, who act as a link between the taxpayer and GSP, the GSP Suvidha Provider. Now, some of the disadvantages are also are there in under GST. What is that? We have seen NH map, right? So on petroleum items, still we are not covered GST, and increased tax burden on small and medium entrepreneurs, and stamp duty will continue to be imposed. Still, we are charging stamp duty, and GST is not applicable for liquor for human consumption. Because of this, any changes in the liquor rate will not does not have an effect or advantage on GST, right? So that's why these are the a few limited disadvantages. This can be convertible into an advantage. So this is all about the GST theory part. This you have to know. Here you need to understand the functions of GST Council and Common Portal, which other tax are subsumed, because this is the base. What is the meaning of goods, services, when it is called as interstate, intrastate. So these are the most important points which you need to cover. Once you understand this, then you can understand the GST easily. Understood? Yes. I hope you all understood. In the upcoming videos, we are going to cover the main hurdles or the most important topics of the GSTs. Thank you for watching. If you have any doubts, you can comment in the comment section. If you are not yet subscribed, kindly subscribe the channel. Press bell icon to receive updates. Have a great day.